Hey, what's up guys? Gangster Jeweler here. So today we are going to be working on a white gold ring that comes to us from one of the value ponds, and it is going from a 10 to an 8, so we're going down two sizes down. So the first thing we're going to do is check and make sure all our stones are there. It's always a good practice to do that before you start on anything. This way, if you need to do some noting of that, you can do that, if you know what I mean. But looks like we're all good here. So we're going two sizes down. So let's go ahead and get our markers here. Oh, damn. Sorry, guys. Oh, I already got our two out there. Two sizes down. So let's go ahead and make our mark here. And we're just going to take this and rake it straight across. Like that. Then you can see we've got our two marks right there. One there and one there. I think you guys can see that. That's where we're going to go ahead and cut it at. So let's go ahead and if you want to use a saw, use a saw. If you want to cut with regular cutters, cut with cutters. The difference is very negligible. Oh, damn. And your end result is going to be the same, so there's really no right or wrong way. Alright. There we go. And then what we will do is we need to go ahead and swap to a disc so we can kind of make the sides even a little bit. Now, I understand if you use a saw that you wouldn't have to do that, but if you cut it, I think cutting it and then filing the sides is quicker than having to saw it, because it only takes a second to do it with your cutting disc. And like that, you're ready to go. Alright. So now, but like I said, if you use a saw or if you cut and then file the sides down, you're going to get pretty much the same. I shouldn't say pretty much. You're going to get the same result. Like I said, there's many different ways to do certain things. There's no really right or wrong way. So now in certain circumstances, yeah, there's only one way, but there's a lot of ways to do different things and get the same result. So keep that in mind. What I say is not like gospel here. Now here's the interesting part. So we have stones that are coming way down the side here. And we have stones coming way down the side here. So one thing we do not want to do, we do not want to grab up here and start bending down. We do that, we're going to loosen all these stones. And they're either going to fall out or they're going to loosen. So my motto always is, if you got stones coming down the side, it's better to oval the ring down, bending from here down, and weld it, and then straighten it out, and possibly have to re-weld it again once it's straightened out if it happens to pop on you, then to chance breaking, cranking down here and loosening these stones and having them fall out or loosen up. So remember, it's always better to oval and possibly re-weld than, don't chance it. So that is what we're going to do. We're only going to bend from here down. Not only that, we have to be careful because the sides are also hollow. They're not very solid. So we want to bend from here down. We're not touching the sides in any way, shape, or form. We're just bending from here down. We're going to oval it. And then once we get it together, we're going to weld it. And there's sometimes because of the stress, when you go to round it out on the mandrel, it might crack or break open on you again. And then you might have to re-weld it. But it will be rounded out at that point and just re-weld it. It's better to do that than to crank on the sides here and loosen or lose these stones on the side. So remember, stones coming down the side, oval it, don't chance it. Oval it and possibly re-weld, don't chance it. I had made a video on that as well, if you want to go back in the catalog and check that out. And I think it might be titled something like that: oval it and possibly re-weld, don't chance it. And if you do this correctly, you should be able to not have a problem. You'll go to some places and they'll say, oh, well, we can, because the stone's coming down the side, we can only size it down one size or two, maybe two sizes. You can go 3 or 4 sizes if you do it correctly. If you just oval it, even if you have to oval it coming all the way down to here, it's not going to hurt, down further, it's not going to hurt it. Now, the only thing is, when you go to round out the mandrel, because of the stress when you welded it, it may break again where you welded it, but that's fine. Once it's rounded back out, you can then put it together and re-weld it. It's very possible to do. And we're just taking our time. We'll go one little bit at a time from one side. You see where we're bending from. See, we haven't touched these sides at all. We've bent from here down. From here down. And even though the sides are hollow, it's not going to hurt it. So you don't want to bend, you just don't want to bend from here and here. And just keep doing it until your ends meet together, because you want your ends to meet together. And you can see we got it ovaled inward a little bit. That's not a big issue. You can see where we've bent it from. We don't want to bend it from here. And you can see we've made a nice little heart shape. But it's not a big deal. Remember, always better to oval and possibly re-weld than to have to lose all these stones or have them loosen, either fall out or loosen. And it does not, this way it doesn't hurt it. Even if you got hollow sides, it really doesn't hurt the sides as long as you take your time with it. Now, if we had a ring that didn't have the stones coming down the side like this, then we wouldn't have to oval the shank like this. We then could grab up here, further up here, and crank it down without having to oval it out so much like that. But being that we have stones coming down the side, we really have no other choice. And we are together there. You see we're pretty flush now. So let's go ahead and get that welded. Crank it just a little bit more. A little bit more. All right, that is going to be about the closest we get there. Now, you know, there is one thing I'm a little worried about, is if you look at these stones right here in the middle, it almost looks like they've been glued in there, especially on this side. See these two right here? These two? They look like they've been glued in there. And the issue with that is when we put heat to it, that glue will burn off and then the stones will fall out. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping it could just be lotion. Sometimes you get a lot of lotion from the ladies to like put lotion on and it'll get in there. But I'm hoping that's all that is. But I was a little afraid that might be glue. But we're going to find out here in a second. So let's go ahead and get ready to weld this bad boy. All right. Remember, better to oval. Don't chance it. All right. Switch to our 5 tip here. Here's our 5. Now here comes the fun part, where we get to light people's rings on fire. That just puts a nice fire coating over the ring for us. It's a denatured alcohol boric acid mixture. And you can see that white film that it kind of puts around for like a protection over the ring. And we are using white gold, so we are going to cut us some white gold solder. And I've had some people say, oh, well, can't you use silver solder on white gold? Here's the thing. No. Silver solder, even though they're both white metals, the color is different. If you try to use white gold on silver, you'll be able to tell. If you try to use silver on white gold, you'll be able to tell. Even though they're white, the colors are different. One's lighter, one's darker. Also, silver tarnishes easier, so if you were to weld this with silver solder, the white gold would stay white, and the silver over time where you welded it will turn dark, and then you'll have a dark line where you welded it. So don't try to do that. I highly do not recommend doing that. So just keep that in mind. Can it be welded that way? Sure. If you want your work to look a little shoddy, then yeah, do that. But I do not recommend it. If you got white gold, use white gold. If you got yellow gold, use yellow gold. Whatever metal you're working on, make sure you're using the right solder for it. That goes for platinum. You can't weld platinum with white gold. You need platinum. That's just the way it is. Alright, let's go ahead and get you guys a close-up here. If we can. I will try my best to keep you guys in focus. And we're just going to go back and forth on our wonderful oval shaped ring. More like heart shaped now, I guess. Alright, that went through. I want to take a look at it real quick for a second. That went all the way through. Okay. Let's zoom back out for a second here. Now there is a possibility when we're rounding this back out that this may break again. It's kind of like a 50-50 shot. It may break again just from the stress point of how we welded it. But it's better to oval it, round it out, possibly have it re-break and have to weld it again than to chance loosening these side stones and having them be loose or fall out. So just keep that in mind. And that's only if you're going down several sizes. Like this, we're going down 2, or if you're going 3 or 4. Now, if we were only going down like a half size or maybe a whole size, we wouldn't have had to oval it out as much as this, if that makes sense. But you can see we've left the sides intact. They haven't been touched. God, I don't like the way them stones look, them two down there. I'm really hoping that's just lotion. But we'll find out here in a second. Alright, so now what we need to do, now that we got it welded, is we're going to be easy here. And we're just going to kind of pull up on it, just little by little. And we're just gonna, little by little, and you can see that our ring did go ahead and separate on us. See that? It did go ahead and separate. So what we'll have to do now is just push it a little bit down. We want to meet them back together. Now you can see we're not quite as oval as we was now. So we're going to weld it again. And as we're straightening it back out, if we got to weld it again, we'll do that. But if you're going down 2, 3, 4 sizes and you got stones coming down the side like that, you can size it as long as you don't mind doing this process. Now, if you don't want to do this process and say, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to do it, or can't do it, or whatever, And that's fine. I mean, not everybody wants to have to do that, so I get it. But if you want to get it sized for them, you go ahead. This is the process you're gonna have to do if you got stones coming down the side. Now, if we didn't have stones coming down the side like that, we could have not had it so oval, welded it, and be good to go. Now, we shouldn't have to re-weld this again, but if we do, we do. Not a big deal. And like I said, I'm going to reiterate a lot in this video. It's better to oval it and possibly re-weld than to chance it and then have much bigger problems with stones coming out on the sides or being loose. So I will zoom you guys back in here. All right, we have got her welded again. We'll go ahead and dip that in water. We're not too worried. We know they're diamonds. Let me zoom you guys back out here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to pull down. And we're probably going to tap with our rubber mallet a little bit here on the sides. Not real hard. Just very lightly. And we're not beating on the sides where the stones are. We're just beating kind of on the sides where it's ovaled out at. Okay. All right. And guess what happened? It split again. Not a big issue. We're now more rounded out. And with yellow gold, you don't really have this issue, but for white gold, it tends to be a little more brittle-ish when it comes to being ovaled like that. Usually if I do that with a yellow gold ring, I don't have a problem with it coming back apart like that. But now you can see this should be the last time we have to weld it because we have it pretty rounded out now. So let's weld this thing one more time. And then we should be golden. And like I said, it can be done. You just have to take your time. And the same process is going to go for if you got stones coming down the side and you're going down 4 sizes. You know, you're going to have the same process. It can be done. It's just, this is the process you're going to have to do though. This just is the process you're going to have to do if you want to do it safely. Alright guys, flip them around. You got the chin shot. There we go. Where is... There it is. I was looking for my solder. Hey, on the bright side, we're not dropping as much solder as we used to. That's a good thing. That's some progress, I guess. But I will drop more. It's just part of the game. Alright, we should be good now. Looks good. Alright, one last time here. So we got it welded again. You can see we're a lot more rounded out now. Stones are still looking good. I just don't like that. I'm really hoping that's lotion. I really do. But at any rate. So we're going to tap some more with our rubber mallet here. And again, remember the rubber mallet does not smash the gold or the metal. Use it basically just to get it rounded out real good. Alright. And we are almost to an 8 here. Almost to an 8. Alright, what we're going to do real quick, so I'm going to go ahead and file the inside because we're real close to an 8. And once we get that inside file down, probably might sit right on it. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and do that first before we do any more tapping on it. Alright, let's see where we're at here. Let's flip it over to the other side. Do some tapping on this side. Now, something I do have to do, and unfortunately that might cause it to have to just to re-weld it one more time, is I want to tap the sides a little bit on here. So I need to find my ball peen hammer. And I want to tap this side just a tiny little bit here. All right. Looks good, looks good. And let's see, we're right on an 8. Right on an 8. I think we are not going to do any more tapping on it, because by the time we smooth it out, file it down, you can see we got it round now again. It's not ovaled like it was. All our stones are intact except for these dirty ones here. Hopefully they'll clean up. But I really swear to God, you see how, all these other stones are fine, but usually when the stones turn colors like that, it means they're glued in there. And I don't know who the hell would have done that, but that is definitely not good if that is the case. I'm hoping that's just lotion or some kind of chemicals. It could be that as well. So we're gonna hope that is the case. But at any rate, we are now size 8, so let's go ahead and straighten this out a little bit and file it, make it smooth. There we go. Let's go ahead and file this top of the sink a little bit. All right, now we're going to take a metal file here and kind of go down the sides here a little bit, kind of even it out a little. And we're not pushing real hard. You don't want to push real hard. Just very negligible. Alright, let's file. I need to switch and file this inside a little bit. Alright, let's do a little more filing on this side. Okay, and then we're going to kind of go across the top here a little bit. Alright, now let's go ahead and do this other side. Get it filed down good. Alright. I'm kind of using the grinder to grind it down on the side there a little bit. Normally I would use the file completely, but just because of the way this ring is shaped, the way it curves in, I don't want to groove the rest of it out too much, if that makes any sense. Alright, let's go ahead and smooth the inside now. Get that smoothed out. Let's switch to our silicone wheel here. I need to go ahead and turn my torch off. No sense in leaving that on. Alright, we gotta do a little, actually gonna need to do a little bit of grinding on that inside there. Just a little bit. Then we'll have to come back and smooth it out again. There we go, that looks a little better. Now let's go back and smooth that out again. I just didn't quite like the way that inside was looking. Didn't file it certain area there quite down enough. Alright, let's switch. Oh, nope, before we do that, let's finish getting the rest of this inside on the top here. Alright, now we can switch to our other silicone wheel so we can do the outside of the shank and the sides. Let me hit this other side real quick, and then we'll do some final touch-ups here. Alright, we got that side looking pretty good. We need to work on this side a little bit more. Alright, we need to file that down a little bit. We got the solder a little bit too hot. And we got a couple little itty bitty pits that we need to get out of there. That will happen occasionally, unfortunately. Everybody does it at some point. And I don't care how long you've been doing it, it'll continue to happen to you. go ahead and smooth that out now and see what that's going to look like here. And actually, I don't even think that's where we welded it. That's because this ring was a 10, and I think that's where it was welded from another place. I could be wrong though, but that's what it looks like, because it's not quite right where we had welded it at, but not a big deal. Not an overly big deal. Alright guys, I think we are pretty much where we want to be. Pretty much where we want to be. Alright, let's take a look and see what size we are here. We are an 8 on the money. And an 8 on the money. Nice. Alright guys, let's go drop this in the ultrasound. And then we'll be right back to polish it. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back with that ring. I want to do a little bit, just because the stone there, the stones are still ugly up in there. And I want to get them, see if I can get them to clean up a little bit. And the inside here is a little dirty. And see if we can get that cleaned up before we go over to the big buffer. I'd like to try to do that first, if we can. make them stones look better, because right now they just look awful. And I don't think it's glue, because they would have come out by now if that was the case. Some kind of chemicals or lotion probably. But I want to clean them up the best we can here at the bench before we go over to the buffer. And that's already looking a hell of a lot better. Yeah, look at that. That looks much better. Just something that was on there. Some kind of chemicals or something. It was making it look ugly as hell. But at any rate, we got that straight. Let's go ahead and hit the inside now. Okay, let's hit this other side up here. Alright guys, I think we are about ready to make it to the buffer now. So let's go ahead and head over there real quick. Now we do need some power, or we're not turning our buffer on. Oh yeah, it looks good. Alright guys, We are looking good now. We are. Alright. And we'll work on the other side here a little bit. Alrighty. Looks like the top and the back end are looking good. So let's go ahead and do the inside now. Alright. Alright guys, we got it nice cleaned and polished. Let's go drop it in ultrasound and we'll come back and look at the finished product, guys. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back with that ring. You can see we got a nice clean and fingerprints all over it already. It is nice, clean, polished. Got it looking nice. Got them stones looking 100% better too. Them stones were looking something bad. But we got this size from a 10 to an 8. So this is another repair down, guys. This is the Gangster Jeweler. If you would like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, the link for that will be down in the description. But like I said, it is not required. And also, if you would like to buy jewelry online, you can visit Stellar Jewelry. I'll have the link for that down in the description. And if you would also like to check out my Twitch and Kick live stream, I'm on Kick now as well. Haven't streamed over there yet, but I will be. And I just do reactions and also play some games over there, do some different stuff over there, and reactions to different things. But also I'll do reactions to jewelers as well. It's just reactions to all different types of stuff. But anyways, if you want to check that out, Twitch, Kick. Also, all my live streams and reactions will go on YouTube over to Boss TV. I'll have the link for that down in the description as well. But I'll be here too as well. I'm not leaving here for sure. Not for the foreseeable future. But this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. And I appreciate you guys watching. Oh, also, if you want me to do your repairs, you can visit my Etsy shop. I'll have the link for that down in the description as well. But this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.